Good morning, everyone, and welcome back. We're on day 5 here on Lapis Lakeside, picking up 5 fancy apples to go with that day 5. Yeah, we're here on Lapis Lakeside. We're just chilling out for growth week. I did see that we've got some big news coming up, but we'll get into that a little bit later. Let's go ahead and grab our 14,636 sneaky snacking. Very good. As you can tell, I did forget to swap my team out when I woke up this morning. I remembered about 20 minutes ago, right before I was coming in here to start recording, so we're going to go through that a little bit later too. But let's go ahead and grab our 100 sleep points, and that's going to put us at 5,993 for our total. Gonna be spending those pretty soon. And then for our daily lottery, we're gonna grab some diamonds, hopefully. Nice, 10 diamonds. It's not the 20 I wanted, but hey, 10 is a pretty good amount of diamonds. It's a lot better than 0. All right, and for our sleep report, let's go ahead and jump in, and hopefully, I really would like a dozing sleep type. Really would like to see that dozing sleep type because I want that Dratini to show up for the Dratini candies. That is probably the most valuable candy for me right now that I could get. 9 hours, 40 minutes of sleep. That's a decent amount of dozing, which makes sense because it took me forever to fall asleep last night. That'll definitely be a dozing type. Kind of had a feeling when I couldn't go to sleep last night that that's what I was going to wake up to. For whatever reason, just had way too much energy and could not fall asleep for the longest time. All right, so that's going to be 42.666 million. And that's 7 spawns, of course. I did use another incense. I had several Chikorita incense, so I went ahead and popped one of those last night as well. Looks like we're going to get an Ekans, a Bellsprout, a Weeping Bell, definitely a Chikorita somewhere. And also we're going to get... Psyduck, looks like it's another Weeping Bell. Only 6 old sleep styles. Interesting. Okay, so we've got 2 new sleep styles. What could that be? It's definitely not a Dratini, I don't think. Ooh, Ivysaur. Okay, that's a good one. Sunbathing sleep, the 1 star? Okay, sure. I guess I've never picked that one up along the way. The last one I needed. Okay. Not expecting a 1-star sleep to be the last one I need, but at least we got it all done. And another, oh, it was the exact same sleep style. We just got 2 Ivysaurs that were the exact same. All right, well, job done. Gonna get a lot of Bulbasaur candy out of that, that's for sure. What do we catch out of this? Let's see who's hungry. Chikorita is not a bad call. Bellsprout wouldn't be a bad call either. I mean, I suppose Ivysaur wouldn't be the worst, but honestly, a better Chikorita is probably a higher priority. Yeah. Let's go ahead and see if we can take home this Chikorita. It is actually the higher priority. I do have a pretty decent Meganium, but it doesn't have berry finding. So if we could get a Chikorita with berry finding, that would be fantastic. Also, if we could get a big hit here, since we fed a bunch of biscuits yesterday and still didn't get a big hit, that would have been nice, but no dice. All right, well, 1 last biscuit will take it home. Been a while, I feel, since we've gotten a big hit from a Pokemon that wasn't hungry. Speaking of Pokemon that are hungry, just for the fun of it, we're gonna give them a biscuit just to see if we get a critical capture. No crit. All right, well, what about you, Weeping Bell? Just to see. I suppose for 1 biscuit, it's worth taking it home just to see if it's okay. Or usable. Nope, no crit there either. All right, well, out of everything else here, not really a whole lot worth trying to catch. So we're just gonna go ahead and head on back home with our 1 Chikorita. And yeah, hopefully it's pretty decent. Berry finding would be fantastic. As far as candy to send out today, I feel like probably Bellsprout would be the most helpful. Potatoes are very useful for a lot of people in a lot of different recipes. Chikorita is useful, but really only on Lapis, whereas potatoes in different recipes can be used on multiple islands. Bulbasaur, I feel like honey and tomatoes kind of useful, but maybe not as useful as Bellsprout. I feel like Bulbasaur candy is pretty easy to come across, so we'll send out some Bellsprout candy. And let's see, how much did we get? We got 16 Bulbasaur candy just from the 2 Ivysaurs. Chikorita gave us 11. A lot of candy today. All right, so we did get another 7,500 Dream Shards. Nice. I wasn't expecting that many. All right. So for this Chikorita, we've got friendship level 13. So it's level 14 and Impish. I don't think that's super great. All Cocoa. All right. Main skills, sub skills. I mean, helping bonus is a good start. If we could get berry finding at level 50, that'd be pretty nice. Helping speed is also good. Ingredient finder, not so much. And inventory up M's, doubling up timid, ingredient finding down. That is what we want to see. Not the best nature we could have on a berry finder, but it's pretty good. Honestly feeling like this is probably not super great. We're gonna go ahead and set it to level 60 because the calculator can't go above level 60 for berry finders, or when calculating berry strength, I should say. It's actually not too bad, but that helping bonus is doing a lot of the heavy lifting, I feel. 88 PR on berry strength alone. So that's pretty good. Total strength, is that the same? I mean, this one's pretty good, but helping bonus is doing a lot of heavy lifting. If it had helping bonus and berry finding, it would be perfect. This one is definitely still usable. Yeah, it's even saying only a 4.8% probability of catching a better one at level 60. Let's see, level 50, a 5%, 5.1. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty good. It is pretty good. Definitely usable. Gonna hold on to it for now, but I don't think, yeah, 87 PR on total strength, but really berry is what I care about now that we can actually calculate just the berry strength instead of total. And that was 88, I believe. Come on, last one. 60 doesn't take that long. There it is. Okay, yeah, 88 PR. That's not bad. Again, helping bonus doing a lot of the heavy lifting. Inventory up at level 25, not really helpful at all. But ingredient finding down, I think, does do a lot of good work too. So definitely gonna hold on to it. I don't know if I'm gonna invest in it yet. Maybe if we get to a point where we really do need a better Meganium, I will eventually. But for now, I'm just gonna hold on to it, put it in the box, and we'll just wait and see what happens. Well, let's go ahead and move on. It's about that time to talk about the news, which is hopefully good news. Actually, before I do that, let's go ahead and clear out these guys. Let's get the proper berry team working. Take that candy for sure. Go ahead and collect from everybody that's going to be swapped out. All right. Now that we've got that done, let's switch back to the team that I meant to use, but I goofed. They were, I think most of them were at just about 100% energy before I went to bed last night. I forgot to check before I actually went to bed. All right. No, of course we didn't get anything there. I don't know why I even checked, but hopefully you. Nice. That's what we like to see. That's a lot of Mago berries too. Hell yeah. All right. Very good. Very good. Okay, now for the part we've all been waiting for, the new news. Oh, I was about to be disappointed. All I saw was the maintenance at first. I was like, really? That's all it was? Never mind. We finally got some anniversary news. Event, first week anniversary lead up gift week. Saturday, July 20th will mark the first anniversary of Pokemon Sleep's global release. To celebrate this milestone, we will be giving out 150 bonus sleep points every day for a week beginning Monday, July 8th. Not bad. So that's this coming Monday. All right. So what is that? An extra 1,000, I think, is what that adds up to, or somewhere around there. I'm sure that math is wrong because it's odd, and so it shouldn't even. Yeah, it shouldn't make an even 1,000, but somewhere around there. And also beginning on Monday, July 15th, we will be holding a 2-week event. 2-week event, okay. The First Anniversary Fest. For details about the First Anniversary Fest, please see the announcements to be posted at a later date. We hope you're looking forward to the celebration. Event period Monday, July 8th through Monday, July 15th. The event is on all areas, so it doesn't matter where you go, of course. It shouldn't. So you get 150 sleep points every day, all next week. This applies to players who log in during the distribution period, blah, 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 blah. Accept your gifts by tapping the box. Oh, do we get them as a gift? We don't actually get them in our sleep points? Interesting. I wonder if that's just there as a copy-paste thing. Or maybe we do actually get them as a gift. I'm surprised. Usually, like with Good Sleep Day, they just put it in our normal sleep points, but maybe it is a gift thing. Okay. What is it? Hold on. For details about the Anniversary Fest, please see the announcements to be posted at a later date. Okay, so they're not going to give us anything else today. That's all we get is that, hey, we're getting something, but we have no idea what it's going to be for the actual Anniversary Festival. Kind of an interesting way to do it. I'm wondering, maybe that means they're still trying to put it all together. Yeah, I just pulled up the official website and nothing about it. So, yeah, I guess, cool. Hey, we're doing something. We're not going to tell you what, but we're doing something. At least we know something's coming. And it is going to be, what did they say? Starting the 20th? Where'd it go? The 2 weeks. Where is it? Beginning on Monday, July 15th. Perfect. So that Good Sleep Day will line up with the first week of that event. Fantastic. That's good. At least we know something, I guess. I would ask your thoughts and opinions on it, but not really much to go off of other than the bonus sleep points, which is cool. I mean, it's nice. I'll definitely take some bonus sleep points, but we did get a grass type medal for studying 140 grass types. More diamonds. Good. That's what I need. I need all the diamonds. All the diamonds. And then for our community reports, we're gonna grab 44 community reports with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 14. The doubled up. Very nice. Just about a third. No level ups today. Also, I just realized that I almost forgot to talk about the other news. There was more news there. Big goof. Come on. Maintenance and version 1.90 update. Maintenance will be performed on Monday, July 8th at my local time, 8 p.m. to 12:30 a.m. So on Monday, make sure that you adjust as necessary for the maintenance. If that does fall in the time that you would normally feed dinner, make sure to get dinner done and out of the way before you go to bed. You can still put the tracker to sleep while maintenance is happening, but you cannot feed or collect, so make sure you do all of that just before whatever that would be local time for you, or maybe not even dinner. Surely it's gonna fall for some people's breakfast and lunch, so make sure to adjust accordingly. Points to be updated though. This is the interesting stuff. The new features: addition of a display option for the pop-up that appears when Snorlax's rating goes up. Oh, that'd be kind of cool if we could kind of, I don't know if I want to get rid of it, but minimize it. Because you do have to click OK and go through like 3 or 4 screens whenever Snorlax ranks up. So it'd be nice if it was all contained on one page and we could just hit OK one time. That'd be really nice. Snorlax ranks up. Get one page that pops up, says the new sleep styles that have been added, how many dream shards you got, and what rank you are, and then you hit OK and you're done. That'd be nice. Preparation for the first anniversary festival makes sense. Addition of a new product, the trial bundle volume 2, which we did talk about a couple of days ago. That's actually looking very nice. Once we get the price point of it, then we can discuss it further, but likely going to be around the same price, and if it is, definitely worthwhile. Balance adjustments, the real fun. I see some dishes are getting some balance adjustments, but let me not get ahead of myself. Help from helper Pokemon with low energy will be slightly more effective. Okay. All right, making Low energy Pokemon more effective. That's not a bad thing. Adjustments to some dishes made with soybeans. Oh, are we trying to make soybeans more effective ingredients? Whoa. Okay, maybe not. Maybe not. Ninja Curry strength goes from 6,159 to 9,445, which is a substantial jump. About 50% jump, a little more than that. But it's going to require 24 soybeans instead of 15, and it's going to require 12 leeks instead of 9. Interesting. Okay. This will make the curry stronger, but what's it currently at in terms of the number of ingredients needed? Ninja Curry currently takes 38, and we're adding another 9, 3, so another 12. So it'll be a 50 ingredient dish. That actually could be really good. Only downside, leeks, at least for me, seem to be very inconsistent in terms of the number that I bring in. So that's something that once level 60 is released, I could probably do. But yeah, I've only made it one time just for the clear, and that's it. Interesting. Okay, but another 50 ingredient, really, let's be honest, curries didn't really need too much buffing. They're already one of the strong, I think the strongest category of recipes in the game right now anyway. But so making individual ingredients better is always a good thing, because that does make other Pokemon more viable so that we can have more varied teams. So that's good. Cool. Moving on. Salads. This is definitely what we need to see get buffed. Water Veil tofu salad. Where are you at? A 16 ingredient dish is now going to produce 3,113 strength instead of 1,843 base strength. But you're going to need an extra 5 soybeans, and you're going to need an extra 3 tomatoes. That's actually pretty doable. And those are the only ingredients in the dish. So for people that are still on that level of recipes, that's gonna be a pretty decent buff. That makes it a 24 ingredient dish, so that's pretty good. That could definitely help out on a lot of people's teams trying to get through those earlier levels. And then for Ninja Salad, that one's higher up. That's already a 53 ingredient dish. That's going from a base of 10,095 to 11,659. Not a huge jump, but it's almost certainly because of the 4 extra soybeans that are going to be put in it. So that'll make it a 57 ingredient dish. So you'll need the maximum pot capacity, the maximum base pot capacity to be able to make that. But you can still make it without cooking pot increasing main skill, so still good. Definitely would make it more viable, but again, also a one with leaks in it, so not really something viable for me. Maybe it's viable for other people. Hopefully other people have better odds of getting leaks than I do, because leaks seem to be very hard for me to come by. Okay, so far pretty good stuff. I wish they would have done more with salads, but that's not what we're focusing on. They're trying to address soybeans, so that's okay. And then huge power soy donuts. The strength is going from 3,213 to 5,547. Gonna require 3 more oil, which is already kind of a tough ingredient for a lot of folks. And then 10 more soybeans. You're gonna need 16 soybeans instead of 6. Okay. Huge power soy donuts is actually a pretty decent recipe already, especially for the early mid game. So it's not too bad, but let's see, what does that make it? Another 13, so it makes it a 35 ingredient dish. So that could be pretty good, actually. That could be a really solid one for people in that mid game area. So not bad. Seeing balance adjustments to individual ingredients, like I said a minute ago, is actually really nice. I like that they're doing it, and it's not something that I would have considered that they could have done. I never would have thought about adjusting individual recipes based on what ingredient is in them. But overall, it's a good thing, because that can make other Pokemon that we normally would just kind of not really think about could potentially make those Pokemon more viable. Like I think Gravel, the Geodude line, has soybeans and potatoes. So Geodude line is actually pretty decent, but if you have a triple soybean Geodude, that actually could be really useful now once they make these adjustments. So I kind of like that idea of adjusting individual ingredients. So that's pretty good. All right, so other adjustments to be made. Loading time sped up on the Pokemon box screen. Good, because that one's super slow. Note, we also plan to speed up other screens' loading times in future updates. Good, because it's one of the biggest issues I have with this game is it just takes so long to get in between screens. It really just takes entirely too much time. Somebody actually asked me the question the other day of like, hey, why don't you just sell your excess ingredients when your ingredient bag is full since you're not really collecting or cooking? I think this was last week when I was just making like one ingredient meals. Why don't you just sell your excess ones instead of just letting them go to the void? Honestly, I'm lazy and the loading time in between screens just wasn't worth it for me. So I already had to do the loading time in between going to my team to swap them out, backing all the way out, and then swapping back to my team. So then to also add in the loading time and effort to go and sell ingredients, I'm just not bothered by it. That's just a personal thing, honestly, just me being lazy. But if we can eliminate some loading time on these screens, that would be so fantastic. So nice. All right. And then last couple of things, power consumption reduced for tracking sleep without laying mobile device face down. That one I don't understand. Power consumption reduced for tracking sleep without laying the mobile device face down. Are there people not putting their phone face down? I didn't know that was a thing. I thought you had to. Or at least, well, I don't know. I guess maybe not. Now that I think about it, maybe not. I just put mine face down because it puts it into like half sleep mode where it just turns the screen off. But any way that they can reduce power consumption while tracking sleep, always a fantastic thing. So hopefully we'll all get a bit of benefit, but at least the people that fit into this category that they're addressing, at least they'll get a benefit. So that's good. And then also fixing some text. So cool. Lots of good, interesting updates, especially like I said, the balance adjustment for soybeans. Actually really interesting. I'm kind of interested to see what people do once that moves forward, or if it even changes the dynamic at all. It may not change. People may still just avoid those recipes. So I guess we'll just have to wait and see in next week what comes of that, if anything. But all right, now that we're done with all of that, let's go ahead and make some breakfast, and hopefully we can get a pretty decent one. I don't think we're gonna. Ooh. We can make a calm mind fruit salad. That was unexpected. I guess those 5 apples that I got for going to bed on time was exactly what I needed. Let's throw in some milk and some tomatoes. Gotta have tomatoes with salad, you know? Even a fruit salad. Ooh, extra tasty. Nice, that's exactly what I needed. 29,327. Good, good, good. Things are looking up finally, a little bit. Just a little bit, not much, but a little. All right. So does that push us into another rank? I don't think it's going to, but it might. Oh, yeah, definitely. I didn't realize I was that close to the next rank. Ultra 3. Very good. Very, very good. Now if we could just get slumbering, we'd have a pretty decent chance of getting another Stuffle. All right. Well, another 206 sneaky snacking. Good job, bud. Okay. No skill trigger. Nope. How about you? Nope. Definitely not you. What about you? Nope. Awesome. Cool. Well, we're off to a good start for today. A lot of interesting news. The fact that we have been finally told, hey, we are going to have a 1-year thing, but we're not going to tell you what it is yet. Kind of wild. Yeah, 137. So that means that they were at 119% when I got them out of the box a minute ago, or around 120, because I'm sure 1 or 2 points has dropped since we've been talking about the news. But yeah, like I said, interesting stuff. The balance adjustments for the soybeans for sure. Power consumption is always a good thing. And really the big thing, big thing, reducing loading times, and the fact that we finally know for sure that we're gonna have a 1-year thing. I've been joking in the Discord that they're not going to do anything, or they're going to wait until the last minute and just start it. But yeah, we are going to have a 1-year anniversary event. We're just going to have to wait and see what that's actually going to be. But we are going to get some bonus sleep points in the meantime. That said, let me know in the comments below what you think about all this news. If there's anything in particular that stood out that you find particularly interesting, especially if it's the soybean stuff. Is that going to change the way that you set up your teams going forward? Do you have a really good soybean Pokemon that you would then swap out once those changes are made to take better advantage of the new soybean recipe? Well, not new soybean recipes, but the adjusted soybean recipes. Or is it just kind of a dud for you and it's like, oh, that's cool, and you're going to move on? I'm really interested to know what you guys think in the comments below. That said, thank you for watching the video. Y'all have a wonderful night. Don't forget to subscribe while you're down there, leaving those comments, and go ahead and join us in the Discord. That link is always in the description of these videos. And that said, y'all have a good night, and until next time, later, dudes.